What's going on, everyone? Tommy from Pizarro's PCs. It's Sunday, so you know what that means. And the weather's nice. I've been booting. Back, guys. So before I start, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who attended the Worthing Comic Con yesterday. A few people come up to me and said that they watch my YouTube and follow me on Facebook and stuff like that. It was a really busy show, but people wasn't really buying. There wasn't really a lot of collectors. It was all kiddie bits. So I was selling a lot of £1, £2, £3 bits, but I did okay, and I bought one thing. There's one thing I did buy though, I'm really pleased with, and I've been after one for a little while now. So I got this Masters of the Universe multi-bot. I haven't put it together or anything. It's complete, but it's missing the other half of the gun. Now, multi-bot, unlike Modulock, is not that common, and you don't come across them very often, and complete ones loose are generally going for sort of 20-25 quid or more. I paid £12 for that. He wanted 15. I said, will you take 12? He said yeah, so I'm pleased with that. The only problem is now I need to try and find the other half of the gun, so if anyone's got it, let me know. The other thing is where I've been getting so much mail recently, and I've been doing unboxings and all that. I did open some mail last week that I completely forgot to mention. So I got these off of David from Toy Storage on Instagram. Now, I wasn't gonna get these gremlins because they're not official gremlins as such, but he done me a good deal on these. So I got the NECA brownie. I've got Doodah, and I got Penny. I think I paid 35 posted, so it works out like 12 quid each. That's a really good price for NECA gremlins in general. I mean, these generally go for at least 15 each, so I was quite pleased with that. But now it means that I've got to get all of them. There's all the other ones that I need to get. I'm still missing some of the key ones as well. I need Big Daffy and I need Big George. They're like my two next targeted ones that I'm trying to get, but they go for stupid money. So, and everyone knows I'm a tight bugger. Right, onto the boot sales. So, alarm went off 6 AM, which is generally a bit late for me anyway. But I was so knackered from the toy show yesterday that I just snoozed it, and I thought if I get up, I'll get up. If I don't, I don't. I ended up waking up after that at 7:15, got ready, and I googled, and there's another boot sale near me. There's quite a few boot sales around here, but there's another one near me in Swanley. There's like 3 or 4 in Swanley. I didn't go to Pedham, which is the massive one, because you need to get there really early because it just gets absolutely, ripped to bits by all the dealers and all that. So I went to this other one. It was the first one of the season. Lo and behold, when I got there, I see the old geezer that I've mentioned in previous videos who just seems to follow me everywhere. He was there. There was another guy I know who deals mainly in gaming, and there was a couple of other dealers who had bags of bits and pieces. But I still picked up a few bits. Nothing super great, but I still picked up a few bits. So off the same guy, I picked up this Viewmaster. Is that Teenage Turtles 3? Viewmaster pack of 3, still sealed. The card's a bit bent, but you don't really see Viewmaster stuff that often. I think the Viewmaster stuff's really good, but you don't see it that often. He had that, and then he had some Game Boy games, which I was quite surprised no one had picked up, to be honest with you. I know they're not worth super crazy money, and especially since the Pokemon craze has died down from the app that came out last year. But I picked up I don't know whether that's is that an official Nintendo game? Game & Watch Gallery 2. I have no idea, to be honest with you. It's got a Nintendo stamp of seal of quality on it. But one of you gamers, retro gamers, will be able to tell me out there. I got Super Mario Land 2, which I think I picked up the other week, didn't I? Can't remember if I picked it up the other way. And then I got Pokemon Silver, which is probably the better one out of the three. All three of them, and he wanted 12, he wanted £3 a piece. I paid 10, which is, you know what, I never want to pay a lot of money anyway, but because I'm a tight bugger when it comes to the boot sales, but it's not a bad price. And I thought the Teenage Turtle thing, someone would probably want it. I know a lot of Teenage Turtle collectors, the Game Boy games. I'm building a little collection up going up here, so yeah, I was £10, not too bad. Then at the same boot sale, I came across a lady who was selling these bad boys and getting them up. So we got Brian and Stewie from Family Guy, both still with their tags. Sorry, I just hit the mic. £1 each she wanted for them. So I thought I wouldn't normally buy. I don't normally buy plush toys, but plush toys with tags, that they're good at cons. Kids buy them and all that. I also got some more Pokemon card tins. Again, both full of cards. £4 a tin. So I paid a tenner for that woman for the lot. Pokemon's still massive at the minute. I had a few people asking me yesterday if I had any cards, so I'm not fussed. I know that they sell pretty well. Then I went to the next boot sale, so I spent £20 there. So I went to the next boot sale. First woman I came across, I picked these bits up. I didn't have a super day today, don't get me wrong. It's enjoyable. But that old geezer that I was just mentioning about, the lizard, yeah, he, when I was at the first boot sale, he clocked me, and he started walking really fast, like to be in front of me. I feel a little bit embarrassed about it. It's just like, really, mate, come on. But he always wants all the sealed gear and all that. He gets it all signed by the stars, and he sells it at Comic Cons and all that. I just try and enjoy it. The problem is with a lot of these dealers, this is what pisses me off, is that a lot of them ain't collectors. I am, and I'm collector before dealer. You know, my love is for collecting. The selling side of things is a bonus, and it's kind of gone hand in hand with the collecting and everything and the knowledge and all that. But you know, I'm not out there like some of these other guys who are, it's a full-time job and all that sort of thing. It's just a hobby to me. But when I go to the boot sales, I try and enjoy it, but things like that really annoy me and frustrate me. Anyway, on to the next boot sale, where I did see him after, but I'd already picked up some bits by them. So this one woman had a few bits and pieces, so I've got this. This is the, is it Imaginex? I always say it wrong, it annoys me. I think it's Imaginex, isn't it? Yeah, this is a Goldar from Power Rangers. So I've got that. It's quite a heavy figure, to be fair. Got some more of these little minifigs as well. Got another Batman. I've got Spider-Man 4, the Flash. Same woman. And then I also got 2 Transformers off her. These are modern ones, so not too sure the dates on these. I'll have to speak to Rob, my man Rob, who's Transformers mad, as we know. Made in China, surprise, surprise. So there's one. Looks all complete and all that. I'm going to try and transform it. And then here's another one. This one actually makes sound. Shooting gun. And then when you put it up, the old Transformer sign. It's got some flashing lights on the back as well. So that's a pretty cool one, to be honest with you. I'd like to say it's star screen, but I don't think it is. I'm not too sure. It might be. So the 2 Transformers, the Goldar, and the 4 minifigures, fiver. So not bad there. Not bad at all. I did then get some. There was a guy who was selling a few He-Man beta figures. He had a couple of He-Man annuals and the Ladybird books. But I kind of passed them because they're quite. You always see the He-Man ones, but you don't always see the She-Ra ones. So I picked these up. I know a few She-Ra collectors. I mean, these are not worth big money or anything, you know. So I got one of the She-Ra annuals from 1987. So that's 30 years old now. And then 3 of the Ladybird books. I paid a fiver for the lot. but he wanted £3 on some of the figures. He had like a Battle Armor Skeletor, but it was really loose, and I was like, nah. I just want a few books, that'll do me. Let the other scalpers fight and the lizards fight over them. Then, one of the strange things was, last week when I was at Herne Bay Sci-Fi by the Sea, I see this little Venom figure for sale, a Venom that I haven't got. There's still a lot of Venom figures I haven't got out there. And I believe they're from Spain. And the lady wanted £7. It was new, it had a little tag on it and all that. But I thought, I don't want to pay £7 for a little Venom figure when I know, when you look in hindsight of what I paid for that select figure. So I passed. That was last Sunday. This Sunday, I found one at the boot sale and it cost me 50p. Look at this. He's got a little bit of weight to him. So the company that make these are, is it Comonsi? I think they're a Spanish company, and they do she had quite a few of them, the Marvel figures like Spider-Man and all that. And when I see it on the floor, I thought, well, how's your luck? I could have nearly paid £7 for that last week, and I didn't. See, luck was in my favour, and I've picked up another Venom, 50p. There we go. And my man Rob sent me a picture earlier. Robert Robbo Toys, and he picked up a Venom today at the boot sale, another one that I ain't got, so that's going into my collection as well. So now we move on to the big items. So this was the find of the day, to be honest with you. But before, because I'm going to have to change camera angles because I've got it all on my table over there. But before we do that, I was shopping earlier and I did find it's getting crazy, like the amount of stuff that I'm buying at the minute. So I've just ordered an N64. One of my friends, Andrew, who I've mentioned in the videos before, Noddy's Toyland, I think his channel's called. He was selling a load of consoles, and I just thought, I fancy an N64. I fancy getting one. I was close to getting one last week at Herne Bay Sci-Fi by the Sea. There was a box one there going for 55, and I was close to getting it. Andrew's kindly done me a little deal. It's not boot sale prices, don't get me wrong, but Andrew's done me a deal. He's sold me an N64. It's got the power pack and all that. One control pad, really good nick. There's 5 games with it. One's GoldenEye. There's the 2 WCW games, which I used to love on the N64. WWE game, Mercy, and then I think there's like a skateboarding game. So I'm sorting that out with Andrew at the minute, and that's probably going to come in like the next week or so. But in the meantime, I've been thinking about what games I potentially want. And I was in Bromley Town earlier buying some cleaning products and that, and I couldn't help myself. I walked into CEX and I got myself another control pad, because obviously if you have friends around and all that, you need to have 2 control pads. That cost me a tenner. I looked on eBay, it's going from between 10 and 15, so tenner's a pretty standard price. I was happy to pay that. I also picked up, let me just grab them, Turok. This one's Seeds of Evil. I think that's number 2, might be £3. Again, I looked on eBay, going for anything sort of for between 3 and 10, selling as well. It's just random. Then I picked this up. Now I looked and I did eBay. I looked on eBay quickly to see what these were selling at, because I weren't too sure. I didn't. CEX, everyone says it. Their prices are up and down, and I didn't want to pay stupid money for this game. So I never played this game, but I'm intrigued, because the good thing is now I've got an N64 coming. The thing is, when you're older, what we do in collecting and all that, and we go back to our childhoods and all that, you got money. You got money as an adult. So not to say I didn't have stuff as a kid, because I did. I did have quite a lot, but there were certain games that passed you, and you never had them. You never played them, and this is the time now to get them. This is the time to be. And I know people go, yeah, but the graphics on N64s and Mega Drive and SNESes are rubbish compared to Xboxes and PS4s and all that. Yeah, of course they are. It was 25 years ago, but there were some really, really good games on these consoles. Really good games, and I don't play PS4s, and I'm not interested in playing Xboxes. I do like the old games. Now I've got this one. I've never played this before, but I've currently got a load of these in stock, the toys of this. So I researched on eBay. Boxed, it was going for between 10 and 15. boxed it was going for 25, 30. I see some going for 35. So I got this Earthworm Jim on the N64. Now, didn't have a price on it, which is unusual because CEX had loads of retro games behind the counter. I was quite surprised. I was going to have to go in there more often, but they had quite a few NES games, but I had them all. They had Double Dragon, just the common ones, you know, Chip and Dale, DuckTales and all that. It didn't have a price on it, and I was expecting them to say 35 quid, and I was like, nah, I ain't paying that sort of thing. I said, how much for the Earthworm Jim? He said, oh, I'll have a look for you. 20 quid. I said, oh, okay, so I'll get it done. Thinking, oh, it's probably missing this manual for 20 quid, because these little things make up the value in gaming. I'm not no gaming expert, don't get me wrong, I ain't no retro game expert, I'm a toy man, but I know that manuals, give or take, you can lose anything from sort of 3-4 quid to 7-8 quid on the value of it. Well, it's got the manual, so 20 quid. I thought that was a pretty good price. I messaged Stu at Tootie UK, the booter, Tootie booter. I messaged him to let him know. Then he said to me, "Oh, I think I might have a spare spare N64." So I already said that I've got one on the way. But thanks for letting us know that, Stu. And if you're watching this and you have got any N64 games, there are a few I'm looking for. So let me know what you got, mate, and I can send some cash your way, some PayPal. So yeah, that was pretty much it, guys. Apart from what I'm going to show you next, but I'm going to have to move the camera around because I've kind of got everything on the table over there, and I couldn't have it all in front of me. It would have started getting messy. So let's switch it up. Here we go, guys. This was probably the find of the day. So this was at the second boot sale, and this was actually the first thing I found. I normally do everything in order as I found it, but not on this occasion. I swapped it around, but this was actually the first thing I found in the second boot sale that I went to. So I was strolling along. I was funny enough, I was on the phone to Rob at Robbo Toys just to see what he got. He was at a boot sale and just talking, and literally I got off the phone to him, and about a minute later I was walking and I see all these He-Man figures in a bin on the floor, and then the castle next to it, which I was quite surprised that no one picked up. I know it's the modern He-Man, don't get me wrong, and I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but some of these still go for quite good money, and they are quite good figures. They're not rubbish by any stretch of imagination. They're quite decent figures. Not all of them are complete. I've tried to put together what I can here. Obviously we've got Grayskull. I think Grayskull's missing. The gun snapped, I know that much. But there is the cool gold sword in there. Don't know if you can see that. Also the I think this is called the Battle Hawk, I think, which is complete. It's got its missiles and its guns and all that. We've got Battle Cat and Panther. Battle Cat's missing 1 missile. Panther's missing 5 out of that, which is a shame. Got Stratos here with both his missiles. Rob at Robbo Toys has already asked me for him, so he's yours. Man at Arms has got his gun and his little, I don't even know what that weapon is, the weapon that he has in his hand. But I think he's missing a bit off his chest. We've got Ram Man here, who's got his axe. Roboto, whose legs are unfortunately glued, but he is a pretty cool figure to display. We've got Trapjaw, who's missing 2 of his accessories that click into his hand. Merman's got both his accessories. Beastman's missing his whip, but he has got his armour. Then we've got like the main characters. So we've got Orko as well. Orko's got all these bits here. Now we've got 2 versions of Skeletor, and we've got 2 versions of He-Man. So we've got I think this is the martial arts He-Man, this one's called. They did loads of versions. He's missing a weapon. He's not in the best condition, but even so. Then we've got the Battle Sound He-Man, I think. He's got all his weapons. He's got his sword, his axe, his shield. His hand snapped a bit here, so I'm going to have to try and glue that back, but he does make a noise. Let's listen.
I have the power!
He has the power. How about that? So yeah, pretty cool one there. We've got Mecha Neck, who obviously neck goes up. Again, pretty big collection this is. Then we've got the normal Skeletor, who's got both swords. He's got his staff. He's got his armour and all that. So he is complete. I've got one of these in stock on these Skeletors, but I don't think he's got his sword. And then probably the coolest one is this. This is another Battle Sound Skeletor, again with the swords, the staff. and he sounds awfully familiar. Where's his button?
Eternia will be mine.
Eternia will be mine.
Eternia will be mine.
That sounds like the original Skeletor. Probably just doesn't sound like the one that was in the in this cartoon. So yeah, so the guy, I said to the guy how much for all the figures because I wasn't really interested in the castle. So he had a little count up. He went, "Oh, give us 12 quid." I was like, "Okay, that's a cool price." There are loads of weapons in the bottom, accessories. There are some other bits on the floor. There's a clawful, an original clawful, and then there's loads of weapons that I don't know who they're for. I'm guessing they're for some characters that are no longer with this bundle. And I said, "How much for the castle?" He said 10. I said, "We take 8 and 20 quid for the lot." So I was quite happy with that. So that's probably the best find of today. Not great stuff today. I've still managed to spend 50 quid, which is quite a lot. But you know, I know a few of these figures, and I should be able to make my money back. So yeah, pretty decent morning. Don't know how long it's going to last. Still finding stuff out there. People saying there's nothing out there. I think there is, but it's in certain areas. And I am quite lucky. I have got half a dozen boots out. More than that, actually. I think there's about 7 within a reasonable distance of me. And most Sundays there's normally at least 3 of them on, and sometimes 4. So today there was 4 on. 5 on it round here, and I only managed to go to 2. You can't get to all of them. And funny enough, I see the same dealers that I did at the first one, at the second one. You're gonna see these people, but I'm pleased to still be able to find stuff, and there's so many people there. There's so many dealers and collectors there that are buying everything up. So that is it, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this. I say quick video, they always end up being like 15-20 minutes, but I hope you've enjoyed this video, and thanks for the continued support. Don't forget, you can follow me on all the social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. All the links are below. If you've got any comments or anything, or if you see anything you see that you like, leave a comment. Don't forget to like, share, and if you're not subscribing, please consider to do so. Guys, until the next video, I'll see you then.